Hello and welcome to this afternoon taste challenge. Today, this afternoon, what is it? March 4th, March 4th, 2019, we have Pabst Blue Ribbon Artist Series can, 4.74% alcohol for the USA market. Introduced in 1844, not 1944, 1844 as Jacob's Best Lager, but rebranded as Pabst Blue Ribbon, but whatever. Okay, this almost said Bob told this can was brewed in Fort Worth, Texas. It's best by June 10th, 2019. Nice, pretty fresh. All right. P for Pabst. Lively. I had to suck off that foam. Sucking off foam. That's what I do. Now, because I'm an aggressive pourer, well, Budweiser, introduced in 1876. Oh, nice smoke. 5% alcohol, not as much foam. Rice lager, not made with corn syrup. Do you know Budweiser and Bud Light is not made with corn syrup? What's wrong with y'all? Y'all think Anheuser-Busch would make beers made with corn syrup? Well, actually, they do. Dozens. And not to mention high fructose corn syrup, but we're not talking about those. We're talking about a Budweiser. You say, well, what's the adjunct in Pabst? I know they use barley malt. I know they use hops. I know they use water. I know they use yeast. But what's the adjunct? Corn syrup. Corn syrup? Yeah, well, okay. Now, well, here's the prediction, and this is no fiction. I really honestly and almost totally truthfully, to a large extent, believe, because see, I wouldn't tell you a lie. If I say something, you can believe it more or less. I think the Pabst Blue Ribbon's going to win. Why is that? Because it's better. Okay, it has that distinct wine flavor. You say, but it uses corn syrup, and Budweiser uses verdant rice. That may be the case that they gave me, but now I like Budweiser. I like Budweiser. I started drinking Budweiser off and on in February 1996. But some beers are better. Sorry to bust your bubble. Most people say that bubble's been busted. All right. Straw and gold. Straw and gold. Is it a big difference? Not really. I had to sip it down just because I didn't want it to overflow. Price. Well, Pabst Blue Ribbon is about $9.99 a 12-pack here. Is that a good deal? Not really. Budweiser is $10.99 a 12-pack here. Is that a good deal? That's an even worse deal. It's not a good deal at all. Adrian Rowland says, I know my pick on this one, bro. Bud Light is the worst. Haha. Oh, no, this is not Bud Light, my friend. Aiden. I said Adrian. Aiden. This is not Bud Light. Oh, no. This is Budweiser. This is my buddy Weiser. I'm hanging out with my buddy Weiser. In the past, I've hung out with my only one in my family that will hang out with me is my old granddad. I would like to hang out with Johnny Walker and his brothers, Black and Red. And if you go out tonight, do not give Wild Turkey a ride. Aiden says I have to go Pabst over Budweiser. Pabst is my pick to win this contest, says Michael. Aiden says both are delicious out of a bottle. Yeah, I could have bought Pabst bottles, but then why would I do that if I can get a 6-pack of 16-ounce cans for $4.81? Right, you heard me right. $4.81 for a 6-pack of pint cans. That's $9.62 for a 12-pack, and I would pay $9.99 for a 12-pack of 12-ounce. Let's see. 16 ounce is more than 12 ounce. Okay, I'm going to go with the cans. Wowza. I was just calculating the price I got for this. I won't say what I bought because I said I wasn't going to do it anymore, but I did. I can't help it. I need help. No, but seriously, folks, for $9.99, I wasn't going to really pass it up. You know what I'm saying? Terrence says, I'm not sure if you've tried Pabst Blue Ribbon brewed by Sleeman in Canada. I can assure you I have not, since I have access to no Canadian beers practically. But I feel the original American version tastes way better. I wouldn't be shocked. Got to ship shop price, says Michael. You do have a valid reason, says Aiden. Have you heard of the band Magic Crawfish, says Bucky Dent. No. But I've heard of the movie The Magic Christian. All right, man, could you do a Busch versus Pabst versus Milwaukee's Best? I could do a lot of stuff, but I can't do them all. All right, I'm not going to do them all. I still have to go walk half a mile today. I'll have to watch the news. I have to dust the rest of my cans and bottles, which I'm going to do today. I'll be caught up for this month. Why? I just haven't heard of it. But I have the album, The Magical Mystery Tour. Magical Mystery Tour. I have that album. All right. All right. Fleetwood Mac announced they're going to replace the Rolling Stones for the Jazz Fest in May 2019. All right. Stevie Nicks put on her Facebook post that she's excited about it. All right. They had to cancel a concert just 2 days ago because one of their members was sick. All right. I'm not planning to go to any of those concerts because it costs too much money. All right. Jason Thrash says, hey, Jay, it's been a while. Hope everything is going well. I would pick Bud, but Pabst is a good beer. I walked all over once. Bucky Dent says, I walked all over once. That's good. I'm at work about to go to the car and get me a beer, says Aiden. All right. All right. All right. All right. It's a festival. I got to sip this down. I don't know what is. I can't look at these because the Pabst is darker. It's clearly darker. I mean, yeah, it's golden and the Bud is greenish yellow. Hey, you ever notice that Budweiser has that unusually strange greenish yellow appearance caused by who knows what? William Kepley was talking about it last Wednesday. I'm not crazy. Man, look. All right. You say, oh, yeah, you're all happy because you had 2 corn tortillas with refried beans and smoked sausage sliced on top with sliced yellow onions and the queso cheese sliced and then put on bake for 20 minutes and then hardcore toasted for 10 minutes until it was caramelized with black pepper and Trappy's bull sauce on top for lunch. No, I didn't say I was excited about that. I just said I was doing a beer challenge. That just happens to be what I ate for lunch. Terrence says, hi, Jay. Oh, let's see. What is all this? What's the difference between a black lager and a Baltic porter? Not a whole lot. Caused by who knows what, says Jason. Terrence says, hey, hi, Jay. I like your short series of videos with Swillengrog from Australia. Any chance He will be an upcoming exam and review. Thanks. No, I doubt it because he's an Australian. It's very difficult to coordinate the time frame. We did it once, and it was a nice hangout, but it was so complicated. Because it's like, here I am winding down for the evening. They're getting ready to go to work. And, you know, it's like, it's too complicated. Now, when he was in America, I live in America. He was able to meet up with me, or I should say I was able to meet up with him, and we did a series of beer reviews. Will that happen again? Unlikely. Could it happen again? Possibly. Oh, that smells like Pabst Blue Ribbon because of the sweetness. Okay, but anyhow, that smells like Budweiser. You say, why? Why? Well, let me tell you why. It's clean. Oh, so very clean. It's dry in the nose. You say, you're stupid because beer can't smell dry in the nose. I know about beers. I review them all day. I have a certificate. Beer cannot smell dry in the nose. Well, that might be your contention. I'm telling you, it smells dry in the nose and it smells like green rice. I know steamed rice. I work with steamed rice. Senator, you're no steamed rice. And this smells like steamed rice. This is too obvious. I don't even know why this is called a taste challenge. It ought to be called a taste farce. And you can smell that Carlsberger toasted. Oh, if y'all could have ever tried Falstaff. My heart's still broken behind that because Falstaff had such an interesting toasted malt quality that you couldn't get in other beers. It was too old-fashioned. The young people didn't like it. It was too harsh. It was too much of a 64-year-old old man beer. No one drank it. I understand that. It got discontinued in 2005. Same thing with Meisterbräu, another noticeably toasted barley malt beer. But then you say, everything ain't about flavor. Apparently not. It's about gimmicks. All right. I know. I'm just mad because I didn't try the Lucky Charms beer. All right. I feel played. It's so obviously Pabst. This is the whole reason for this series anyway, because I remember back around 20 years ago, I would read these articles, you know, on the internet and at the library because I didn't have a computer. Because back then you would go to the library and you could still do that and you get on there and look for an hour and you're tired, you have 20 minutes left, whatever. All right, but they would say, oh, all these American beers, they taste all the same. They're all the same, yellow fizzy stuff. And I was like, man, what are they talking about? I would read the article and I would say, what are they talking about? They don't all taste the same. They're similar, but they're not the same. I mean, what are these people writing about? Because I was drinking one after the other, you know, and I was like, they don't taste the same. And then I started the video reviews because I would say they don't taste the same. And I mean, they're not remarkably different. They're not profoundly different, but they don't taste the same. So when people get on the internet and tell me it tastes the same, I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about because I can tell them apart. I'm like Mike Stivic and All in the Family, you know, Coke, Pepsi, Royal Crown Cola. He could tell them apart. So obviously Pabst Blue Ribbon. Okay. Jason said, I used to buy Bud Dry, and you could both smell and taste it dry. I like that offering too. Oh, I miss Bud Dry. Don't even get me so I'll start crying on the internet. I love Bud Dry. Used to buy Bud all the time, says Terrence. Now I generally stick with Miller brands. Miller High Life, Milwaukee's Best, Hams. In fact, I only started drinking Hams after your review. I can get a 30-pack for under $13. Haha. You would never see that in Louisiana. Believe me, Louisiana has good prices, but compared to Wisconsin and Illinois and other states like that, it's a joke. But that's okay because they have property taxes that'll impoverish millionaires. So We'll take the trade-off. All right. Who could ever, I don't even need to close my eyes now. Who could ever confuse Budweiser with any other beer on the planet? Now, you might not like it. You can say, I don't like Budweiser. I go to sleep angry at Budweiser. I wake up angry at Budweiser. I spend most of my day angry at Budweiser. I post on Beer Advocate forums all day long about Budweiser. Okay, that's fine. And you have that right. But don't say it tastes like everything else, because it clearly does not. Bud All Day versus Pabst personally, says Craft Beer Pours. Oh no, we can't be friends. Pipe Man says, Terrence, I love hams. I'm in Michigan too. Terrence says, not a huge fan of Special Light though. What are you talking about? All right. I've never had the Special Light. Okay, well, so sweet, so bready, so what do you call that? It's like cereal grain, it's bread, it's it has that wine, that Pabst Blue Ribbon wine thing going on that they call that. But Budweiser, the Budweiser, the bane of people's existence. How do you even describe it? It's indescribable. Like, you would have to go drink Budweiser to understand it. It's the verdant rice. It's like a rice patty. It is so, it's like you're going to eat. I don't have to visit Thailand. I don't have to visit Cambodia. I don't have to visit Taiwan. I don't have to visit Myanmar, Burma, because I've been there existentially through Budweiser, because this is so rice oriented. It's practically beyond belief. I really believe that I could take any beer on the planet and put it in competition against Budweiser, and on aroma only, I would know it was Budweiser. And if you notice these taste challenges, some people hate them and some people love them, and some people hate them and some people love them, and so on and so on and on and on until the break of dawn. You will notice that I was able to tell it was Budweiser on aroma only in every single taste challenge. I agree, price is king in the macro American lager segment, but which non-major label discount brand did you least like throughout all years of review, says Terrence. Pipe Man says, not really bad, but I feel like we get a regular hams at the same price. The worst. Oh, I had some I didn't like too much, like Straub wasn't too good, and I thought the new Grain Belt deteriorated. I used to, when I first got Grain Belt back in 1996, when I was up in Wisconsin and Minnesota and Iowa, I thought, oh, this is such a good beer. I bought a 6-pack of the clear bottles, and then somebody sent me some Grain Belt. I had bought some previously to that too, and then I thought, I don't know, something went down with it. It's not as good. But which ones are not as good? Oh, I know of a prominent one that's not very good. It's Genesee. I don't like Genesee. Genesee is bland. It's like there's something inferior about it. I can't put my finger on it, but it's like a B. All the rest are in the A-, and it's a B. It's like good, but it's not excellent. It's, I don't know. It's like they cut corners somewhere. Genesee is like, I'm not talking about the cream ale. I like the cream ale, but something about Genesee is deficient somehow. Now, when I was in Maryland on US Highway 1 southbound, and I stopped in that liquor store and I bought the Genesee 6-pack, and it was damn, excuse my language, hot. Yeah, in Maryland. And I popped the cap and I drank a can of it. Well, yeah, I mean, it refreshed. It was the pause that refreshes. But then, I mean, I could have done that with Budweiser, or it would have been much more of a more refreshing pause. So, Ronald, I didn't say that. Terrence did. Oh, okay. I started getting all these. Sorry, I got all the comments discombobulated. All right. Which one's better? That's the key to the riddle. $1 difference. Is Budweiser worth $10.99 for a 12-pack? No. Is Pabst Blue Ribbon worth $9.99 for a 12-pack? Obviously not. But I didn't pay that, right? I paid less than $9 for a 12-pack of pint cans. So, yeah, it's worth that. I used to travel and work in the upper Midwest. Have you ever had point beer? I can't believe I remember that. It was 25 years ago. Jason Thrash, get ready, because I'm about to show you something right now. People can call me stupid, misguided, dumb, idiotic, foolish, insane, mad, crazy, brilliant. But they can't say I haven't traveled around buying beers, because that's been the game plan for 23 years. Hey, you know what? I was driving in Wisconsin on US Highway 51, which starts in my town and ends in Wisconsin at the Michigan border. But anyway, I was just driving through Stevens Point, Wisconsin, and I was, as usual, because of the fixation, I stopped at a grocery store. I'm in Wisconsin. Everybody sells with alcohol in Wisconsin. I stopped at a grocery store. You just know I bought Stevens Point lager. You just know that happened. I didn't have time to go on a tour, sadly. I was like, wow, this beer's really good. Years later, I was up there again. You just know I bought a 6-pack of bottles, and you know this, man. And I said to myself, it's still good. Why do you think I'm on the road trip? If it ain't to buy beer, what's the purpose of why would you be on the trip? I mean, if I go to Wisconsin, you think I'm not going to buy a case of Blatz? Think. You know that trunk's going to be full of beer. And my friend Cartwright's like, you better not get stopped. You're shipping beer across state lines. I'm like, Cartwright, I'm not shipping it to sell. It's like, it don't matter. You got a whole trunk full. They're going to bust you. I was like, no, I don't think so. Scruffy the Janitor says, you're the best, Ron. Thank you. That's it. I watch another beer review channel where the host generally only looks at craft beers. However, he received a can of PBR and admitted it tastes pretty good. Yeah. Now, if you get the open-minded snobs, they'll start to change. Like Tom Petty said, there's been a change of heart. You can get that. You get the closed-minded ones, there's no hope. You know, it's like they're content to be a jerk, like Henry Hill said. I'm sorry. Tommy said that. Excuse me. Terrence said, I love drinking my hams in my vintage mint hams goblet. Road trip just to find extra gold, says Scruffy the Janitor. I would almost do that. I'm thinking about going to see the Tampa Bay Rays this summer. I was looking at hotel prices today. They were nice because I have my Wyndham Rewards points. Oh, yeah, I got my points. And I was looking at hotel prices in the Miami area, and they were looking really sweet. And then I was looking at the hotel prices in the St. Petersburg area, close to Tropicana Field, and they were looking really sweet. And I was like, yeah, I might go drive down there. And then if I go down there, you just know I got to go to Key West. You just know I got to go beer shopping. You just know I got to go liquor shopping. You just know I have to buy some more of that Red Horse lager from the Philippines, 8%. Oh, bazam. Oh, yeah. I mean, that it's a long drive. It's a long drive, but it's a long drive. It's a long drive. It's a long drive. It's a long drive. Elgin says, I'm admittedly an open-minded snob. I agree, and I endorse that attitude of being an open-minded snob. There was a Blatz brewery in Evansville, Indiana, when I went to school. Did not care for that one too much. Well, I don't know about those days, but the ones that are brewed by Miller are pretty dang good. Terrence says, 1958 Hams also had amazing commercials. Love the one with the man in a bear driving in a Jeep to a logging site. Neither had a seatbelt on. Yeah, no one had a seatbelt on in 1958. Okay, noted. Jeremy Vincent says, who's going to win? Yeah, I'm trying to figure that out right at this very particular time. Well, that Pabst went down so smooth, oh, so very smooth. Yeah, that was back in 1989. When I wasn't drinking beer, sadly, I was in a misguided application of soft drinks. But we can be foolish. I did 10 years of tomfoolery. Oh, well, you can't recapture the past. So from 1986 to 96, I was off track. But then in February 96, I literally found the holy grail, so to speak, of drinking. And I said, oh, yeah, this is what this is going to be about. Ron, I said that about the Ham's Goblet with the thumb indents. I can't keep up with who said what. I still have to go walk half a mile. I got to check the stock market. I don't know. Who wins? Well, this is going to upset a lot of people. I have to go, but please keep up the awesome videos. Thanks, Jay, says Terrence. Okay, before you go, this is going to upset a lot of people. It'll make few friends and create many enemies, but I got to go with Budweiser. Budweiser wins. Oh, Lord. Can you imagine this? People are like, your subscriber count's going to drop by 40% now. I want you to die. I hate you. Hey, look, whatever the case, I'm telling you, I never would have dreamed it. I never would have thought it. I never would have expected it. I never would have predicted it, but Budweiser wins. And I'm going to go get some more, and I'm going to tell you why. All right, let's look at this thing in a very serious way. I have to admit that, hey, wait, what happened to my tag? P, Pabst. What happened to my B tag? I had a B for Budweiser. What happened to my tag? I'm gonna hurt myself. All right. Yeah, I think subconsciously or in my subconscious mind, maybe I was rooting for Pabst. You know what I mean? Like, maybe I was hoping Pabst would win. Like, yeah, Pabst, the working man's beer instead of the stinking rotten Empire. But then I tasted them and I tried them. So here's the thing. People tell me all day long, 26 hours a day, they tell me, don't you notice that Budweiser has changed so much in 23 years? And I always say to them, no. I have drunk Budweiser since February '96, and I can tell you honestly, I haven't noticed one iota of change. Now, granted, I might not know what I'm talking about, so I'm just saying, for me, I can only drink for myself, right? You drink your beer, and I can drink mine. I have not noticed a difference. Maybe it's changed profoundly. I just haven't noticed. Jason Thresh says, have a good one, Jay. You too. But here we are in 2019, and I'm tasting them, and I'm telling you, it is better. Now, is it way better, significantly better, profoundly better? No, none of those things. And in fact, I would buy Pabst because it's a lot cheaper. I'm not gonna get 12 pint cans of Budweiser for four. What is the price again? $9.62. That will never happen. That will never happen. I will never get Budweiser 12 16-ounce cans. 60. All right, you got 16-ounce cans for less than $10. That's not going to happen. But let's just forget about price for a minute. And it is better, and it's so incredibly distinct. The dryness is just really much. Can you imagine what Bud Dry used to be like? But this is so drier, crisper, succinct. Like the finish is succinct compared to other American lagers. I've been dealing with this controversy for I'm dealing with it like I'm worried about it, But I've been dealing with this controversy for 23 years, and you get these people out there, and if you say the Budweiser, if you say the word Budweiser, they go into a seizure, and you have to call the ambulance. But they say no, and I'm like, no, you never took time to stop your antics to look at it, because let's look at Pabst for a minute. Well, it's a beautiful product. There's that winey note. It integrates their various malt corn syrup concoction thing very very nicely, but that's the point. But now it can't match the fine qualities of Budweiser. And when I say fine, I mean fine, like very fine and low, very narrow tolerances. You know what I mean? Like with Pabst Blue Ribbon, your standard deviation might be like this. You know what I mean? Like, but with Budweiser, your standard deviation might be a straight line. Or it would be almost, it would seem to be a straight line. And there's anecdotal evidence, like even their quality control, like okay, I'm not going to name names. I could, believe me, I could. But the Pabst people, they're fine. They're nice guys, whatever. But they don't really worry about checking dates too much, And Budweiser, well, let's just say I was talking to, gotta watch it now. Let's just say for the sake of the video. Let's just say that I was talking to a Budweiser salesman, April 1st. No fooling. And we were talking about dates, so to speak. And he was relating some stories about certain grocery stores, convenience stores, where he could prove to me, and I believe it because I've been in those places, where you could find cans or bottles of non-Budweiser beers that are dated years ago. I didn't say months ago, I said years ago. So I was talking to him and I said, well, what if I went into a store and they had a Budweiser beer that was a year out of date? And I made that phone call. He said, I'd be gone. I've been there over 20 years, I'd be gone. That day, they'd call me in the office and say, get your stuff and get out. Now that's something to take into consideration. He said, these are some serious people. These are some scary people. He said, if those guys show up. So if those guys show up and they go into those stores and they just, start pulling bottles and cans off the shelf and they look and they say, oh, okay. And the beer is outdated. There's going to be some failures, here and there. It'll be a month out of date, 2 months out of date. These things are going to happen. We understand that. Better not happen too much. But he said if they go into a store and we're talking about the area manager. I'm not going to name names. I know the name. And they look at that bottle and it's a year out of date. He said, that's it. I'm looking for a job. It's over. This is no joke. I could tell you a story after a story about Anheuser-Busch and Budweiser. These are serious people. They are not playing games. I don't care. I don't have any attachment to these people, okay? I'm talking about what's the reality of the situation. If they go into a store and there's a Budweiser on the shelf and it's a year out of date, this is what these people are telling me. There's going to be, he said, I can name you 3 people this last year that are out of a job because they got clipped when the dates were not right. So say what you want, hate what you want, despise what you want. But they said these people are not playing games and it's over for you. So you got to respect that as much as you want to hate. And there's a lot of things to hate about Anheuser-Busch InBev, and I'll be the first one to admit it. Pipe Man says, I'll take Pabst over Bud. Fair enough. Another great show, Ron. I'll go for a price between these two. Yeah, I'm going to shop price too. I mean, I'll do a trade-off. Scruffy's a janitor. Says, I know High Life don't have that cooked veggie smell now. It smells more like corn. I think they've done a lot of improvements with Miller High Life. Bud Dry was very easy drinking, says CS. Oh yeah, what a heartbreaker. I mean, Steve from Philly says, get him, Ron, get him. Gotta have the date, guys, says Jeremy. You would hope so, but why? And I was ranting and raving. I was going off. I mean, I was really flipping out. People thought I flipped out on the I was flipping out on the International Beer Review Guild on Tuesday or Monday when about some issue, and I was like flipping out, going crazy. I was like, I told y'all what's going to happen. I told you he was going to quit. And I was flipping out, But I was like, that ain't nothing. That was just a normal flip out. That was just like run of the mill me and going crazy, But I was really flipping out last year when I bought a 6-pack of Old Milwaukee, and I said, all right, this is pretty fresh. October. There was only one problem. It was October 2017. And I was like, I realized why it tastes so stale. And I just went crazy. I was screaming, hollering. That's where the whole conversation came about. I was screaming, hollering. I mean, I was just going mad, And that's when I asked the area salesman for Budweiser. I said, what would happen? I said, let's just say for the sake of our argument, I go into a store and I see a Budweiser or a Bud Light, and it's October 2018 and I buy it, but yet the best buy date says October 2017. He said, I'm gone. That's it. I'm gone. He said, I'm going to be called into the office that evening and I'm out of a job. And there's no mercy. There's no tenderness. There's no chance of restitution. I'm gone. Now, you can say that's brutal, whatever. I'm a consumer. I want the fresh beer. I'm sick and tired of going into stores. Jeremy Vincent knows what I'm talking about. He's got burned many times buying expired beer. So the only attachment I have to the Empire is that every time I buy it, it's fresh. Pretty good attachment. All right. Okay. Steve from Philly says, day in, day out, the best adult beverage reviewer of all time. Oh, Steve from Philly. Thinking on it and drinking on it. I think on it more than I drink on it. Ron the goat, says Steve. Wow, 1-year-old sure would make a huge difference in taste and on the low ABV macro beers. How do you like the description of god awful? Excuse my language, but it was. My friend David said, "What's wrong with this beer? What's wrong with this beer?" And then we looked at the can and we both were like screaming and hollering at his house, and we deleted the video. We didn't even post it. I said, "Yeah, you can't really blame Pabst, but maybe you can because maybe they employ inferior distributors, you know." But absolutely beyond the pale of any acceptable form of human behavior, and I have to respect that. When I talked to the Anheuser-Busch guy, he said, believe me, he said, if there's a beer on the shelf 1 year out of date, I can guarantee you there will be people fired that day. Fired that day if it is discovered. This will not happen in this company. And this guy is militant. I mean, I know he works for the company, so he's biased and all of that, you know, naturally. But actually, I've never met any people that were more militant about dates and freshness and quality control than those people. You say they're just a bunch of fanatics. Yeah, but I've talked to craft beer people and I was like, why does your beer taste like shoe polish and wood? You know, I was like, what is this? And they're like, well, it was a bad batch. And I'm saying to them, a bad batch? But I paid money and I used good money for a bad batch. And, you know, and the Anheuser-Busch people are telling me that don't happen. Bad batches. And if it does happen, like with the Goose Island 2016, 2015, a lot of people are they're gonna find a lot of bodies on the other side of the levee out by the dumpster. Believe me, you're gonna find a lot of bodies. Okay, all right. Last bit of comments, and I'm out of here. I'm going to walk. Pipe Man says, Ronald, do you like hams over Coors, Pabst, or any of the other? No, I do not. But I like hams, but it's not quite up to the level of those. Jeremy says, yes, no excuses for having a really old beer on the shelves for sale. None at all. I'm going to tell you right now, if it came down to dating, I would just pick Budweiser. I mean, I'm sick of this. Enough's enough. I'm tired of going to the store. And this is the argument I hate. This really bugs me. People say, you just need to check dates. Oh? Why do I need to check dates? Seems to me the store or the distributor or the producer should check dates. I'm a consumer. I'm in there buying, you know, you're tired. You might have been working all day. You're buying beer or baby food or dog food. Why do you need to check the dates? Think about that for a minute. Why should I check the dates? CS says, if I own Pabst, things would be very different. What a waste of potential. A monstrous waste of potential. I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen a company with so much potential. It's beyond belief. Make the best beer. I mean, you know, macro beer. The best macro beer in America and can't get out of their own way. Just can't get over it. All right, Jeremy says, a lot of these bad liquor stores will put the oldest beers they can in front just to get rid of them, knowing it's the way past date. And if people fall for it and they're a bunch of old drunks and they don't care, fine. But people like you and me who want the best and they go in there, it's a real problem. True, that's their job. Check the dates and sell the good product. You got that right, Ronald, says Pipe Man. I mean, I'm tired of this. This is not my job to check dates. And I'll give you a good example. There's Mathern's, not a huge grocery chain. They have a few stores. All right, they've got a discount buggy. What do they put in that buggy? That shopping basket, shopping cart? I don't know, buggy, shopping cart, shopping buggy, whatever you call it. There's different terminology for these. When that stuff gets short dated or old dated, they put it in the discount buggy and they sell it for 99 cents if it's beer and $4.99 for wine, whatever for liquor. Why is that? Because that manager is down there checking dates. You say, well, my manager don't have time for that. He's outside smoking cigarettes. He's looking at his cell phone. He's checking Facebook. I say, forget that. Do your job. I'm tired of this. This is an ongoing problem. We've been ranting and raving about it on Beer Talk 2019 for years, back when it was Beer Talk 2014. If you can't check your dates, you need to get off and get out the game. And I'm going to end this video. All right. Well, Pabst is fine. I like Pabst. It's nice. I would drink it every day. If I drank Pabst every day for the rest of my life, when would I get tired of it? One more sip. Never. I would never get tired of Pabst Blue Ribbon in my entire life, forever, to the end of the world. But that being said, Budweiser is a little bit better. A little bit better. And it's so obviously lighter. It's bizarre. All right. But anyway. All right. All right. Uh-oh. Steve from Philly says, what's the... All right. All right. Steve from Philly says, what's the difference between a northern... Oh! What's the difference? Yeah, baby. I'm going to get my flag. I'm going to get my flag. Steve says, what's the difference between a northern fairy tale and a southern fairy tale? All right. A northern fairy tale begins once upon a time, and a southern fairy tale begins, y'all ain't going to believe this. Yeah. Pipe Man says, Ronald, I've been watching your channel for years. I think you're the best. Well, I want to say to you, Pipe Man, I appreciate that. All right. Well, I think Pabst did very, very well in this taste challenge. And this taste challenge did go exactly as I predicted, because I thought that it would be quite obviously different. I was out there walking thinking, I think Budweiser will win by a little bit. And this is exactly how it panned out. So Jeremy says, cheers and great video as always. And get ready, because there could be, unlikely, but within the realm of possibility or likelihood, there could be a Gallo Family Vineyards Merlot video at this on this very day, because I think Jean H. Pierre, he went and bought the Gallo Family Merlot, and I think John Neely was talking about buying the Gallo Family Merlot. And I think we might do the video tonight, but then on the other hand, we may not. All right, thanks for watching this video production.